Copium rex, the biggest known Tyrannosaurus, versus the Vastatosaurus rex, the evolved T-Rex from Peter Jackson's King Kong, 2005. Who wins? And I'ma be honest, Copium wins. Here's why. As far-fetched as my claim may be, I have plenty of proof behind my claim. First off, bite force and intelligence. First of all, Copium takes both, especially intelligence, since they aren't really that cooperative and they don't really seem to think it through. Instead, they just always barge in and attack without thinking it through. Meanwhile, we know that the real-life T-Rex was a very intelligent predator, and since Copium is a T-Rex, we have plenty of fossil evidence that real-life T-Rexes would have fought each other a lot. And that would likely enhance Copium's battle intelligence, since he would have likely fought other T-Rexes before. In terms of bite force, Copium would also take that as well, since the V-Rexes, they have overlapping teeth, and their bite force doesn't seem to do much damage, especially when they were biting Kong. Kong did feel pain, yes, but there isn't any, bone-crushing power between those jaws, and especially considering that people often say that the V-Rex has a higher bite force than its ancestor, being the Tyrannosaurus Rex. So you'd think that they would have extremely strong bite forces, yet they don't seem to do much damage other than cause Kong extreme pain. For example, if a real-life T-Rex were to bite him, he'd feel a lot more pain, there would be a lot more blood, and the teeth would have shredded and bit right through, and probably would cause a lot more damage than the bite force that the V-Rex does, which is why Copium Rex takes bite force. And next up is durability. And so far, V-Rex unfortunately does take durability due to its armor on its back and the fact that it was getting bitten and tossed around by Kong. It got punched and stuff like that. Yeah, if Copium had taken that, he might survive one or two punches, but any more than that, and if he was thrown onto the ground many times, that would indeed eventually kill him. So, yes, the V-Rex does take blunt durability, but in terms of piercing durability, it's very close, but I might give the slight edge to Copium, since he's constantly hunting stuff like Triceratops, and their horns can indeed pierce a T-Rex, but it can be either way, so yeah. And then there's speed, which it goes to the V-Rexes, since they're unnaturally fast for something their size. They take striking speed, not combat speed. They also take ramming speed and travel speed. And Copium would take combat and reaction speed, since he was likely fighting a lot of other T-Rexes back then. Next up is combat and skills, as well as experience and battle experience, and Copium pretty much takes this all, since, as I said before, he was likely fighting other T-Rexes and other large dinosaurs. Meanwhile, we haven't really seen the V-Rexes fighting much of anything other than in King Kong 2005. And while that by itself is a pretty good feat, but we just haven't seen them fighting other large dinosaurs. But yeah, they're still pretty strong on their own, even without that. So how would this fight likely play out? It would likely play out with Copium smelling out or noticing the V-Rex before the V-Rex notices him. And this is because of the T-Rex's heightened sense of smell and hearing, as well as sight. And once he notices it, he might get a bit intimidated by its larger size and mass. But when the V-Rex notices him, it would likely do a roar, and then both of them would likely start charging in at each other. And Copium, with his higher and superior intellect and his greater mass, he would likely shove into the V-Rex multiple times. The V-Rex would likely be taken aback by this, considering that this smaller animal that looks like it somehow has more mass and muscle on it. Which makes sense because the real-life T-Rex is extremely stocky and muscular. And then this would most likely be like a shoving match, and they'd likely take turns biting. And while yes, Copium would likely have a lot of deep bite marks, which would cause a lot of damage, severe damage, if he were to bite down on bite down on the throat or at the neck, he would likely, if given enough time and focused enough, he would likely crush the neck of the V-Rex. Because remember, the V-Rex's bite doesn't seem to do as much crushing power as piercing power. And the real life T-Rex's bite is designed to hold on, crush bone, and it could just tear and puncture through with tough skin. And likely, if he manages to hold on for long enough, he will and can break the neck of the V-Rex, giving him the win. So therefore, Copium would win with extreme to insane difficulty. And well, yes, there is a high chance that the V-Rex might come out on top, but simply due to Copium's better muscle mass and his stronger bite force and intelligence and battle intelligence, that would indeed guarantee him the win. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye. And yes, this is indeed the thumbnail of this video was indeed inspired by both Godzilla Guy and Fada. Yeah, that's what I call him. Yeah, sorry if I butchered his name. Yeah, anyway, go check out their channels and bye.